dun 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 dun. Welcome, welcome, one and all. We're back in Inside Pitch here. This is the 1995 season. We're still on opening day, Wednesday, 26th of April, 1995. We got an opening day matchup, really good matchup today between the Oakland Athletics and the Toronto Blue Jays. Good pitching matchup as well, as we have David Cone pitching for Toronto, Dave Stewart pitching for Oakland. Let's look at your starting lineups. It's going to be Ricky Henderson. He's going to be in left field. Stan Javier in center field. Geronimo Barrera. Geronimo Barrera. Yeah, he's the DH. Ruben Sierra, right fielder. Mark McGuire, first base. Terry Steinbeck, he's going to be the catcher. Stott Boris, he is going to be your third baseman. Mike Gallego, second base, and Mike Bordick. Mike Bordick is going to be your shortstop for the Oakland Athletics. For the Toronto Blue Jays, Delvin White, center fielder. Alex Gonzalez, shortstop. Paul Molitor, DH. Joe Carter, left field. John Olerud, first base. Roberto Alomar, second base. Sean Green, right field. Ed Sprague, third base. Lance Parrish will be doing the catching today. So there you go. So I did end up, one of the biggest problems with Inside Pitch is the base running and stuff. So what I ended up doing here was taking left fielder, center fielder, right fielder, shortstop, second base, and catcher, and put all their stats right here. So I can quickly look at this and hopefully determine the plays a little bit faster. I did that for both teams. So you can see. All right, so David Cone, Dave Stewart going at it mano a mano here in Toronto, Canada. I do have my little dice tower. I think I'm going to be able to fit that in. I've got our charts here. We'll have be just off screen here. And David Cone, I don't know if the dice tower is going to work because there's a lot of rolls that you need to do. So we're going to try it. We'll see. If I need to get rid of it, we'll just get rid of it. Anyways, David Cone against Ricky Henderson. We start the game with the 1-1 possible strikeout. Ricky Henderson +2 on strikeouts for the Sky Dome, +1 on walks, nothing for home runs here in Toronto, Canada. +2 on strikeout. That's going to be against a right-hander 10. It's an 8. So Ricky Henderson down on strikes. Swinging at the Nietzsche. So David Cone starts the game off by striking out Ricky Henderson. That brings up Stan Javier. That's a 3-3, another possible strikeout, and he's a 10 +2, 12, and that's within the zone again. So David Cone, 2 up, 2 down, and both on strikeouts. Can he strike out this side? Geronimo Barrera. That is a 46. That's a home run question mark. Against the right-hander, 1-12. That is a 2. That is a 2. Actually, it's on the side. If I tap, actually, it's going to be a 20, it looks like. So it's not within the range. So we go to Geronimo Barrera's card. And it's a 33. And that's going to be a liner right at the second baseman. There happens to be Roberto Alomar. He's going to snag that out of the air, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for David Cone. We go to the bottom of the first. Still scoreless here in Toronto, Canada. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. Alan Shaw, how you doing, my friend? So a lot of people probably are wondering, why am I doing like opening day of 1995 with Inside Pitch? Well, the reason I'm doing that is because I'm trying to get more familiar with the carded dice. So when I start my little 1995 project, which I'm hoping to maybe announce today, I don't have to like learn the system. So I'm going to a few practice games ahead of time. As far as the strategy rules, I'm not going to use the strategy rule until it comes down to a time that we need to actually use it. Yeah, the strategy rules and me aren't just getting along in this game at all. I'm trying to find the best way to really work with that. But that brings out Dave Stewart. So I am going to be doing something with the 1995 season. I just need to get some practice games in Which do I prefer, the computer or the cards and dice for inside pitch? I would say I like the computer version slightly better because it auto calculates all the stuff that slows down the game in cards and dice, like trying to get, from a runner from first to third on a hit. It does take some calculations to figure that out, and a little bit of, you have to look at the charts and stuff like that, which can slow the game down. The computer will auto calculate that for you and let you know, does he make it or not. So yeah, I would say the computer version for me, just because of that fact. It doesn't slow the game down. The computer version doesn't slow the game down. So I wish there was an easier way, like they had a fast action deck or something, but they don't. So just have to do with what we have to do. So alrighty, so Dave Stewart's out there, 26. That's a wild pitch. We can ignore that. Roll again. That's a 1-5, possible strikeout. He is a right-hander, so it's a 14 plus 2 is a 16. That is a strikeout from Dave Stewart. So both pitchers throwing darts here early in this game. Opening day 1995, Alex Gonzalez, 65 is hit by pitch. He's a 2 -3, so no hit by pitch. 52, that's going to be a double. So that gets the crowd up off their feet as Alex Gonzalez lines one into. So this would be a perfect opportunity where we can talk about this strategy roll. So, when we're talking about strategy roll, we're talking about, picking off a runner from second base or first base or whatever they happen to be, or trying to steal bases and stuff. In this case, first of all, I don't think, the runner would try to steal from second to third and, top of the first inning. And in that case, he's not going to be getting that big a lead, which means the pitcher's not going to be trying to pick him off. So it just doesn't make sense to always roll the strategy roll. So I'm going to roll the strategy roll when it makes sense. I guess it's a long way of saying it. So Alex Gonzalez with a double, and he's in scoring position. Dave Stewart, Paul Molitor, the DH. That's a 1-6 home run question mark against the right-hander, 1-18, and that is an 18. So that's going to fall into Paul Molitor's wheelhouse, and I'm going to use some payoff pitch terms there. So 1-7, this one is gone. It'll be a 2-run home run from Paul Molitor, and that is an 8, just outside the range, and the Sky Dome doesn't give you any bonus. So it's a 1-2. It's going to be a double, though, into center field. So back-to-back doubles, and that's going to score a run for Toronto. And the hometown crowd gets up off their feet and cheering. So back-to-back doubles off of Dave Stewart here, lining these suckers out there. Hi, Max Cornelius. Have you seen this website? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Absolutely. It's a great website. Joe Carter steps in. Runner at second, still only one out, 64. 6 and a 4 is a blank off of Stewart's card. Joe Carter, 31. He's going to single into center field. So this is where the game slows down, right? Okay. He's got a single into center field. We need to find out what happens to this runner in second base, right? So you got to look at his run rating. His run rating is a 3. There's only one out, so he doesn't get a bonus to that. So it's a 3. It went to center field. So hitting the ball to center field, and we got to look at this little chart here. When you are at S8, it's a single into center field. If you're trying to go from second to home, you get a +2, so he goes from a 3 to a 5, right? And then we got to subtract the center fielder's arm rating. Oh, we actually add 1, so that is a 6. So he's going to auto make it. We don't need to roll. Anytime you have 6 or higher or 0 or less, you don't need to roll. So he's going to make it, and that is going to score another run. RBI single for Joe Carter. And the Toronto Blue Jays take a 2-0 lead here. Joe Carter stole 12 bases in the regular season, so he's not that bad a stealer. Do they want to try and steal him? I think they're not going to. Not with John Olerud up there. John Olerud, they're going to put on the hit and run. John Olerud doesn't strike out much. He's only a 6 there, so they're going to put on the hit and run. 66, that's a strikeout chance. We just talked about this. And that is a 1, so he strikes out. And now it's going to be a chance here for the Joe Carter on the hit and run. If the batter strikes out, resolve the play like you would a regular steal. So in this case, Joe Carter's an 18. I already have everything calculated. So to steal against David Cone is -1. To steal against Dave Stewart is a -3. So 18 minus 3 is a 15. So he needs to nail a 15 to make it in there. Oh, 15, the quick tag, but it was just not in time. That is a stolen base by Joe Carter. Good thing they put the hit and run on there. So 2-away here in the bottom of the first. Joe Carter on second now. Roberto Alomar. Wow. Get to play with Roberto Alomar. 34. It's possible strikeout. And Roberto Alomar only strikes out on a 3. +2 is a 5. That is what the dice is. So striking out the side, Dave Stewart, but he also gives up a double, and a single. And we go to the top of the second. That is 2-0 Toronto. David Cone, strikeout, liner to second. Ruben Sierra is up here in the top of the second. 2-0 Toronto. 55. 55 is question marks against the switch hitting lefty. Is 1-13. It's going to be an auto out. It is an auto out. It's going to be a fly ball to center field. So Ruben Sierra out. Mark McGwire. 44, 4-4 against the righties, a blank. Mark McGwire, 34, and he's going to lace one there into left center field. That's going to fall in. It's headed to the wall. It bounces off the wall. The center fielder back there grabs it, which happens to be Devin White. He tosses it in, but Mark McGwire with the one-out double, and we're hitting them hard today, boys. Hitting them hard. McGwire stole one base in the regular season, so not much of a threat there. Terry Steinbeck. Terry Steinbeck. He is the catcher. 63, and that is a possible strikeout. He's a 10, so that is going to be a strikeout. Big strikeout there by David Cone. 2-away now. Which brings up Scott Brocious against David Cone. Righty-righty matchup. David Cone. And 44 against the righties, a blank. And the 34 is an auto out, and that's going to be a fly ball out to left field. Coming in, racing in is going to be Joe Carter. Makes the catch, tosses the ball into the stands, and that's going to do it. The double by the big man, Mark McGwire, goes nowhere. We go to the bottom of the second. Still 2-0 Toronto. All right, Dave Stewart takes the hill again. He's going to be facing off against Sean Green, the right fielder. Good morning, Bleacher Bums Gaming. How you doing, my friend? How you doing? How you doing? Saw your awesome boxing match yesterday. If you guys haven't checked out Bleacher Bums Gaming and his Glory Days Boxing, awesome game. He had a really good matchup. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it, but I would have you go watch it. It was gosh, I'm not really good with my boxing names. I think it was Joe and Joe. I think it was the Battle of the Joes. Bleacher Bum Gaming, remind me who they were again. It was a really good matchup, though. It was old-time boxers, you know, those old-time. But it was a great matchup. You guys got to check that out. And we know from our interview and our baseball preview show that the Glory Days Boxing will be released sometime in May. Date to be determined for sure. Dempsey and Johnson. There you go. It was Dempsey and Johnson. So Sean Green is up in the bottom of the second. Dave Stewart, 1-5, possible strikeout. He's an 11 +2 is not good enough. The dice is too high. So Sean Green, 32, and he's going to get a single into center field. Yes, sir, center field. Sean Green only had one stolen base again, so that doesn't make sense to roll this all the time when you don't have anybody on that's going to steal. It just doesn't make sense to me. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we're not going to be using the strategy roll until it comes time that it makes sense for us to actually do something. The runner's not going to try to steal, which means the pitcher's not going to try and throw him over and pick him off, which means, you know, we're not going to have that situation. So I'm only going to use the strategy dice when it makes sense. So anyways, so another hit against Dave Stewart. Ed Sprague, he's the right-hander. It's a 21, and that's a question mark against the righty. 1-2 will be a auto single past the pitcher, but it's not. So Ed Sprague, 35. That's going to be star line 4. That's going to be ground ball to short. So ground ball to short, the pivot man's going to be a second baseman. You can see I've wrote down, again, left field, center field, right field, shortstop, second base, and then the catcher, all their stats so I can quickly figure it out for both teams. I think that might help out. So it's hit too short. The pivot man's a 0. Double play is a 3. -1 off of Stewart, so it's a 1 or 2. Will be a ground ball double play. It's a 5. The 5 is higher than the base runner, so they get him out at second. So it's a 6-4 put out. And the fielder's choice to get on first is Ed Sprague. So that's how that goes. All right, so 1 on, 1 out for Lance Parrish, the catcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. 1-4 is a blank. And a 62, that's going to be fly ball to center. F8, no advancement there. So 2 away for Devin White. Devin White struck out his first time up, 61. Switch hitter, so he's going to be from left, so that's going to be a blank. And a 21 off of his card. He's going to line that right down the line, and making a good stab there is Mark McGuire, and he's going to grab that sucker. That's going to be an L3 to end the inning. So we go on to the top of the third. Still 2-0 Toronto. Dave Stewart settled down there after that not very good first inning, although he did strike out the side. He did give up a double, and a single. So it was a war. It was a war, that's for sure. All right, so Mike Gallego against David Cone. 26, and that's going to be a possible walk. Against the righties is 7. +1 is 8. It's a 9, so not in range. Gallego 34. He's going to fly that out to right field, and making the catch out there in right is going to be Sean Green. Mike Bordick, shortstop. 24, possible strikeout. He is a 7 +2, 9, and that is a 6, so strikes him out. 2 away, David Cone with his 1, 2, 3, 4 strikeout of the game already. Ricky Henderson struck out to start the first inning, 62, possible walk. Ricky Henderson is a 14 +1 is 15. The die says no walk, buddy. And that is a 35. That's a fly ball to center, and that's going to do it. It's another 1, 2, 3 inning for David Cone. Cruising right through this game here. David Cone. Dave Stewart. Bottom of 3, 2-0 Toronto. Alex Gonzalez, 6'2". Possible strikeout, and that is going to be a strikeout. So Dave Stewart, 1, 2, 3, 4 strikeout for Dave Stewart so far. Paul Molitor doubled his first time up. Oh, almost lost this dice. I got it, though. Caught it right between my legs. Paul Molitor. 6 and a 5. That's a hit by pitch. He's a 6. -3 is a 3. It's a 1, so he's hit by the pitch. And he'll be aboard, Paul Molitor. 12 stolen bases on the season. He has a stolen base of 20. They're going to... His attempt is a 2. Dave Stewart's a 0. Molitor will try to get the lead and steal. Let's see what happens. So we are going to use the red dice versus a 14, so no shenanigans going on there. 64 is a blank. And a 43 is going to be a fly ball to center. I'm sorry, fly ball to left field this time. So Joe Carter's out. John Olerud, we are going to use the red die again. Nope, 32 is a ballpark. So our first chance to look, it's the Sky Dome. There are 3 home run checks on there. We don't need the red die anymore. And 2-2 is going to be fly ball to left. So 2 fly ball to left, a strikeout, and a hit batsman. And that's going to do it for the 3rd inning. We go to the 4th. Still 2-0 Toronto. Anyone's in this game at this point. Dave Cone has given up 1 hit so far. That was to Mark McGuire in the 2nd inning. Stan Javier. 51. Possible strikeout and not in range. 23. It's going to be pops it up to first base. Running over there and waiting in foul territory is John Olerud. It finally comes down and he's out. 1 away. Geronimo Barrera. It's a 65. 65 is a range play. So our first range play of the day. That's a 21. That's going to be to left field. It's going to be a single unless it's stolen away. So Devin White is, left fielder. Joe Carter's out there. He's got a range of 3. So 1, 2, 3. He's going to steal this single away. It's a 2. So Joe Carter making a diving stop out there. And it's going to be an F7 on the range play. So range plays are cool because they can have a hit can become an out, and an out can become a hit. So I really like that. You're just never sure what's going to happen on a range play. So 2 up, 2 down again for David Cone. Whoa, there goes my die. Good thing it didn't go very far. I can pick it up with my foot. All right, I got it. All right, Ruben Sierra, 2 up, 2 down. 6-2 and possible walk, and the dice says no. Ruben Sierra, 35. That's a liner right at second base. And Roberto Alomar doesn't even have to move as he's positioned properly. It's another 1-2-3 inning. And Toronto gets out of the inning, and Oakland once again goes down 1-2-3. So if you guys are interested, I'm going to be doing, the reason I'm running a few of these practice games ahead of time is I'm going to be doing a 1995 project here, and probably announce that in a video later today, maybe if I get a chance. So I wanted to get some practice games in so I know what I'm doing, so once I start the replay, I'll know what I'm doing. All right. Roberto Alomar, Dave Stewart. 6-6 possible strikeout, and Roberto Alomar is only a 3 plus 2 is a 5, so no strikeout. And that is a 26. That's going to be ground ball down to third base. Picking that one up, throwing it across. Scott Brosius over to Mark McGuire. That's going to be a 5-3 put out. Sean Green, both of the pitchers have really settled down. We were in for a pitching matchup. Good thing Toronto hit Stewart early. That is a 1-2. That is against a righty, it would have been a home run check, but against the lefty, it's a blank. So Sean Green, 62. That's going to be a fly ball to center. Out there for your A's is going to be Stan Javier. He's going to make that catch. Ed Sprague, 2 up, 2 down. 35, possible strikeout. And this is a 10-12, and that's in there. So Dave Stewart is not gone. That's not true. In the 2nd inning, he didn't strike anyone out. But every other inning besides the 2nd, Dave Stewart struck out at least 1. So that's going to do it for Toronto in the bottom of the 4th. We're moving on to the 5th inning. David Cone, he can go 32 batters, so he's got a ways to go yet. 56, possible strikeout. That's an 11 plus 2 is 13. Just missed it again. Mark McGuire foul tips that one off. He's going to get his shot at one here. 54. He's going to sky that one super high. Center fielder making the catch out there is Devin White. One up, one down. Terry Steinbeck. 51, possible strikeout. He's a 10 plus 2, and that says strike 3 on the curveball. 2 up, 2 down. David Cone cruising through this game right now. 6-6, possible strikeout. No, the dice is too high this time. So Scott Brocious will get a swing at it here. 52, he's going to pop it up real high in foul territory off the left side. Running out there is your third baseman, Ed Sprague, and he's going to reach over in the stands and make the catch. That's a P5, 1-2-3 inning again for David Cone. Masterful here in opening day. Absolutely masterful. He's one hit the Oakland A's so far. Dave Stewart also pitching well, although the first inning it was off to a rocky start. Double by Gonzalez. Double by Molitor, single by Joe Carter, 2 runs in. That's the only scoring of the game so far. Lance Parrish flew out to center field his first time up, 31. And against the right-hander is a home run check. And he's a 9. That is a 17, so no home run yet. Lance Parrish has to do it himself. 56, he's going to pop it up to short. Got under that one, and it's a P6. So home run check, first home run check, and it did not pay up. That brings up Devin White, struck out in the first, lined out to first in the second. 54, strikeout chance. 14 plus 2, 16, and that is a 15. So strike 3, Dave Stewart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts so far for Dave Stewart. Alex Gonzalez doubled in the first. 51, possible strikeout. And strike 3 called. He blew that one right by him. 2 more strikeouts for Dave Stewart. Again, great pitching matchup. You can see that coming. So Toronto holding on to this 2-0 lead. If you were late to the ball game, you missed all the action. David Cone coming back out to face off against Mike Gallego. 65 is another range play, so second range play chance here. It's 1-4. 1-4 against the righties. A ground ball hit to third. Third baseman is going to be Ed Sprague. He's got a range of 3. 1, 2, or 3. He's going to make it. 4. It's by him and down the line. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a single. It's a 6. That's going to be a double. A double by Mike Gallego, and David Cone a little upset with his defense there. So nobody out. Runner at second. Mike Bordick is up. He's a great bunter, so corners are going to come in. Is Mike Bordick going to bunt? It's a good question. Bunt that runner over. Try and get a run back. I think they're going to do it. So, he's going to bunt. And so the first die tells us where it goes. So 1-2 is the pitcher. So it goes to the pitcher position. Pitchers are always considered in. And it's a 3 there. It happens to be a 5 bunter, Mike Bordick. So 5 bunter, 1-16. It's a successful sack. So we'll give him the sacrifice. Runner moves to third in less than 2 outs now. So that brings up Ricky Henderson. Defense will play in now. They don't want to give up the run. 53, that's a range play, and that's bad because I just called defense in. So if it's hit to the infield, they lose 2 to their range being in. 46, star line 6. Fortunately, that is going to be out to right field. Right fielder happens to be Sean Green. He has a range of 3. So 1, 2, 3 is going to make the catch. Otherwise, run scores. It's a 3. He's going to make the catch, but it still might score. F9. We need to check his Ricky Henderson sacrifice fly. It's a 1. Nope, too high. So now we got to go to the chart. It's a third base sacrifice fly. Adjust the base runner. So the base runner on third is Mike Gallego. He's a 3. There was only 1 out when this happened, so he doesn't get the bonus 3. We take the +1 here, so he goes up to a 4. 1 to 4. He's going to make the sacrifice fly. He's going to come home. 5. Is he thrown out then? No. I think he... Does he not go? I'm trying to remember. Reroll the D6 on the throw chart with only the base runner and the outfielder arm. On the throw chart. Yeah, if roll is less than or equal to the runner, they advance. Otherwise, they hold. Right, okay. So they hold. He doesn't get thrown out at the plate. He just decides he can't make it. So 2 away. Now it's for Stan Javier. Bunt, bunt, bunt. Bunt, bunt, bunt. We bunted. We bunted once. We sacrificed. 31, possible strikeout, and Stan Javier goes down, swinging curveball in there, and Toronto pumps their fist as they head to the dugout, and they hold the runner at third. So the double, the sacrifice, the fly ball to right field, and the strikeout, and Oakland still unable to put one across. Only the second hit given up by David Cone. Dave Stewart against Paul Molitor. Molitor is 1 for 2. 22 against the righties, a blank. 51 is a fly ball to center, and that's going to be picked up. Dave Stewart, Joe Carter. 61 against the righties, a possible walk, and the dice is too high, so no walk. 24, single into right field. So Joe Carter aboard. He's had 12 stolen bases. All right. So they're going to put on terrible bunter. So no bunting. We're going to throw in the die. Oh, it's a 20. So on the 20, we're going to have a pickoff chance. So 1, 2, it's a balk. 3 to 8, he's going to pick him off. Nope, it's laying on the edge, and I think it's going to end up being a 5. So I think he's going to pick him off. Oh, 7, didn't matter. It's still in there. 3 to 7. 3 to 8. So Dave Stewart picks him off. First base on the quick move. So don't have to worry about stealing anymore. So John Olerud. 2-2 count on him. 4-1 error chance. So our first error chance of the game here. 1-1. That's going to Starline 4. It's going to short. Shortstop. Mike Bordick. He's a 1 to 4. It's an 11. So no error. That's going to be a 6-3 put out. And Roberto Alomar here in the bottom of the 6th. 1-3, range play, so another range play. 35, that's going to be a single into left field unless the left fielder can steal it away. Ricky Henderson, he's only got a range of 2, believe it or not. Range of 2, and he's got it. So F7 on the good play by Ricky Henderson. Toronto had something going there, but the single, the pickoff, and that kind of just threw the inning out of whack. And we go to the 7th. Still 2-0 Toronto. Oakland looks like they haven't scored. That would be correct. This score is 2-0 Toronto. David Cone has only given up 2 hits. A double to Mark McGuire and a double to Mike Gallego. And that's it. That's all Toronto's managed. Geronimo Barrera. How you doing, Rob? Explanation Point, Bubba Husky, Alan Shaw, Bleacher Bums Gaming, and Max Cornelius. All right, 35. That's an error and a throw chance. 1-2. Starline 6. It's a fly ball to right field. F9. So no throw chance. Ruben Sierra. 54. It's a Starline. Starline 1. That's going to be out to left field this time. 2 fly balls. 2 up, 2 down. Mark McGuire. 1-for-2 in the day with a double. 63. Possible strikeout. 19 is too high, so no strikeout. Mark McGuire. 63. Starline 3. It's a fly ball. So 3 fly balls to the outfielders. They're out there making catches. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. It's time to take me out to the ball game. All right, David Stewart. Let's see. We got 9, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. He's reached his limit. 24. He will be officially tired. But he's going to try and stay in this inning. So any of the parentheses results will change the outcome. 43, and there we go. It's going to be an auto single. We found it right off the bat. Auto single past the pitcher for Sean Green. And that's going to be it for Dave Stewart. They were going to try and get him through, but he found it right off the bat. Sometimes you do that. And in the computer game, you can set it up so that if they hit one of their results, they have to automatically come out. So that's the way I play it in the cards and dice as well. They can stay in and go past their tired rating, but as soon as they hit one of their parenthesis results, then they have to be removed. So he found it right off the bat, unfortunately. And Carlos Reyes is going to come in and pitch for Oakland. He's coming in the 7th inning. Carlos Reyes is a -2, -1 for the catcher, so he is also a -3 to steal upon. Sean Green is on first. He only had 1 stolen base the whole season, so probably not much of a threat to steal at this point. So we're not going to roll the strategy, especially since Carlos Reyes does not have any balk or pickoff chances. So bunting, though, Ed Sprague, he's only a 2. We're just going to line him up and swing away here. Carlos Reyes, Ed Sprague. It's a 1-5. 1-5 is an error and a ground ball, possibly. 42. That is going to be a ground ball hit to short. Shortstop today happens to be Mike Bordick. He's a 1-4, and that is a 4. Look at that. So the first error of the game, and that's going to be costly. 1, 2, 3, 4 is a 1-base error. 5, 6, it's a 2-base error. It's a 1-base error. So that's going to be an E6. And we have runners at first and second now. As Sprague can't corral that and lets the runner get on. Runners at first and second. Lance Parrish. Corners will play in now because Parrish will probably try to bunt with no one out. And in fact, he will because he is a 5-bunter. So, that's going to be bad. He rolled a 20. That's going to be bad. So 4 tells you where it goes. That's going to go down to the first baseman. A 20, he's a 5. Great bunt. Everyone's safe with a single. Lance Parrish with the great bunt. And we're going to call that a hit as the bases are now loaded for Toronto here in the bottom of the 7th. They have a meeting on the mound. Defense will play. Defense is going to play bases loaded, huh? Runner at third is a 3, Sean Green. It's a 3, and a 1. So defense will play in. Defense will actually play halfway. So you can play in, you can play back, and you can play halfway. They're going to play halfway. So on halfway, your range only goes down by 1, but your base runner also only goes down by 1. So if he tries to score instead of a 1, 2, or 3 successful, it'd just be a 1 or 2 successful. So we'll see what happens. This brings up Devin White, who struck out twice and lined it right at the first baseman. Big opportunity for Toronto to blow this game open. 2-2 is a walk plus. And he is going to be a 17. And he's going to walk in a run. He's going to walk in the run. And Toronto takes a 3-0 lead. Still bases loaded, no one out. Good Lord. They got to leave Reyes in here. 3-0 Toronto. Alex Gonzalez, again, defense is going to play halfway. Halfway in, halfway back. 1-4. 1-4 is another possible walk chance. He is a 10. Plus 1 is 11. Not quite. It's a 13, so no walk. Alex Gonzalez, you're going to have to do this yourself, buddy. That is a 1-3, and against the right-handers, a ground ball hit to second base. Ground ball hit to second. And he's going to come home with it. So the runner at third is a 3. Minus 1 is a 2. So 1 or 2, he's safe. And they can also try for the ground ball double play, which would be 2 home and then to first. But I think in this situation, they're just going to play it safe and go for the out at home. So out at home on the 4-2 put out. 4-2 put out. Instead of going for the double play, it's going to be a fielder's choice. The bases stay loaded, but they get the run out at the plate. All right, so now there is 1 out. Now they'll play back and go for the double play. All right, so Bleacher Bums Gaming is going to run his rematch between probably around noon my time, West Coast. So it's going to be 3 o'clock Eastern time. Have to run in and get a couple of errands done. All right, cool. Race 3 is after this game. All right, Rob, I'm going to try and hurry up for you, buddy, so you can get your race in. The runners, base is still loaded. Defense back, 1-4, and another walk chance. Good Lord. He is a 10, plus 1 is 11. That time he's going to walk in another run. Unbelievable. And Toronto, 2 runs this inning on walks. And that's going to be it for Reyes, as they can't see anymore. They can't see him anymore. Who's coming in to pitch? Looks like it's going to be Todd Van Poppel. Todd Van Poppel. He's coming in the 7th as well. 3 pitchers this inning, and Toronto has scored 2 already. Todd Van Poppel, right-hander. Joe Carter, he could put things out of reach with 1 swing of the bat here. 43, possible strikeout. He's a 9, plus 2 is 11. Ooh, just outside the range. 6-4 against the righty. Good thing they didn't put the lefty in, because that would have been a double. This is going to be a fly ball. And is a sacrifice deep enough? 1 and only a 1. It's a 4. So now we go to the chart. It was a F7, so the minus 1 to the base runner. He happens to be a base running of 3. Minus 1 for the left fielder brings him down to a 2. So it's a 1 or 2. He goes and is in there. 2. He's in there. deep enough for him to make it in there. So sacrifice fly by Joe Carter. 3 runs by Toronto. Brings up John Olerud, not Joe, John Olerud. So runners is first and second, 2 away. 1-6, possible strikeout. And Steve, right, 3 called. That's going to do it. But 3 big runs here in the bottom of the 7th inning, and that's going to do it for the 7th inning. We go to the 8th. David Cone, let's see, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. He can go to 32. He might be doing a complete game here, unless he starts giving up a lot of hits. Terry Steinbeck, 54, and 54 is an auto out. That's going to be ground ball to second, G4. Scott Barocious, 52, K-Chance, out of range. 46, and that's a question mark 7 versus a right-hander. And a 3 is a single, so single by Scott Brocious. Mike Gallego, 4-5, hit by pitch. He's a 6, -2 is a 4, so no hit by pitch. 63, that's a ground ball hit to short. Ground ball double play is a 2, +0. The pivot man is going to be so it's a 1 or 2. We'll get him ground ball double play. It's a 2. That's going to be a 4-6-3. 4-6-3. That's going to, I think it was actually 6-4-3. Was it, let's see, where did he hit it to? Yeah, it was a G6, so it's a 6-4-3. Not that it matters. But Toronto gets out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Todd Van Poppel against Roberto Alomar. 53 against the switch hitter lefty is going to be blank. 62, ground ball down to first, G3. Sean Green. 32, possible strikeout, and not in range, no strikeout. 55, ground ball down to third, G5, 2 ground balls. Ed Sprague. 54, possible strikeout, and it's a strike 3 called on the fastball. Foul tip, the catcher ended up catching that one. So Bud Popple keeps everything right where it is, but it is 5-0. David Cone trying to go for the complete game shutout here. Game 1 of the season. Mike Bordick is coming up to the plate. Do they want a pinch hit for him? Probably not. 6-6, possible strikeout. Nope, out of range. 1-6, G3. 1 away. Ricky Henderson, he could cause havoc if he got on, but so far in this game, he's over 3. 51, that's a possible strikeout. Too high, so no strikeout. 21, he's going to fly it out to left field. I'm sorry, center field. I always get my numbers confused there. Oakland down to the last out. Stan Javier. 51, possible strikeout. And Steve, right, 3 to end the game. David Cone with the complete game shutout here. That's going to be no runs on a measly 1, 2, 3 hits. And somebody had an error. Who was the error on? It was on right there, E6. So 1 error. Toronto, that's going to be 5 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They only had 7 hits. They made them count, though, and no errors. So your final here from Toronto, Canada, Sky Dome. The Toronto Blue Jays improved to 1-0. The Oakland Athletics fall to 0-1 in the 1995 season. Oakland Athletics score 0 runs on 3 hits and an error. Toronto Blue Jays 5 runs on 7 hits, no errors. You can see in real life, Oakland fell to Toronto 13-1 in the opening day in 1995. All right, guys, that's going to do it here. Wrap up another inside pitch game. Let me know what your thoughts are about this game, the system, if you've played it, or what your thoughts are. That's great. Let me know. And otherwise, let's switch over to Rob. Explanation point is he's going to have another racing game. Not only that, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 12 o'clock Pacific Time, around that time, not exactly, but around that time. Bleacher Bums game, he's going to have his rematch from his boxing championship, Glory Days Boxing, today at 3 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Pacific, around that time. So be sure to check in his channel for that. We'll see everyone next time. Thanks so much for everyone. Alan Shaw, Rob, Bleacher Bums Gaming, and let's see who else came by here. Bubba Husky, Max Cornelius. Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.